My parents got me a dog to shut me up. They didn't say it like that, of course. They said things like, "You've been so patient," and "You need companionship," like I'm some kind of pet myself, waiting by the door for scraps of attention. They got me the dog because I cried when I caught my reflection in the patio door. It wasn't a reflection that scared me. It was how quiet the house was behind it. And maybe because they heard me whispering to my stuffed animals again. They hate that. The dog comes from some fancy breeder. My dad says it's a Czech bloodline, whatever that means. It looks like a white shepherd, but taller, leaner, yellow eyes, like a candle's flame. My mom says he's beautiful. My dad says he was expensive. I name him Silas. He doesn't wag his tail much. He doesn't chase balls or chew things, doesn't beg, doesn't bark. He just watches. He sits by the front window like a statue, head tilted slightly forward, staring at the cul-de-sac. Sometimes he tracks specific people with his eyes, neighbors walking their own dogs, a kid on a bike. Once he stared at Mrs. Elkins across the street for a solid hour, head never moving. She waved. He didn't. I try to get my parents to look, but they don't pay attention. Dad's on work calls until midnight. Mom's always gone by the time I wake up. They see Silas as a success story. Look how calm he is, they say. He's so well behaved. He's not calm. He's calculating. I was brushing my teeth. I spit, looked up, and nearly jumped. Silas was standing in the doorway, silent, staring. Nothing unusual, except when I turned off the water. I swear, I heard it. A soft sound. Click, click, click. I glanced down. Silas was tapping one claw against the doorframe, slowly, deliberately, in rhythm with the bathroom clock. Like he was counting. I called his name and he stopped, tilted his head again, then just walked away like nothing happened. He doesn't sleep. I tested it. Sat up one night pretending to sleep with my face to the wall. Hours passed. I peeked. Silas was sitting in the dark, his eyes reflecting the hallway nightlight. Just sitting, looking straight at my door, at me. And then, I swear to God, he tilted his head again, just like he does when he hears something interesting. I was leaving for school, backpack over one shoulder, when Silas stepped in front of the door, blocked me. He didn't growl, didn't even make a sound. He just stood there. I reached for the handle. He tilted his head. I swear he looked disappointed. I told my mom. She barely looked up from her laptop. "He's protective. That means he likes you." Silas didn't move until I said, "I'll come back." Then he stepped aside. Last night, I went to get a snack. Everyone was asleep. The kitchen light buzzes, so I left it off. Moonlight through the window lit just enough to see the fridge. When I turned to close it, I saw it. Silas, sitting in the living room, watching me from the shadows. But that's not the scary part. On the floor in front of him were all my stuffed animals, lined up, perfectly straight, all facing him. Like a class. And Silas, I know how insane this sounds. Silas looked like he was teaching them something. He didn't move, just stared at me, slowly blinked once. I didn't eat. I went back to bed, pulled the covers over my head, and didn't sleep a second. The next morning, I found the stuffed animals back on my shelf, but not how I left them. They're in order from tallest to shortest. And Silas? He's not by the window today. He's sitting in the hallway, facing my parents' bedroom, waiting. He's still by their door when I leave for school, sitting tall, waiting. He watches me leave, but he doesn't stop me this time. At school, I can't focus. All I can think about is how still he was, like a guard dog, or like a judge. I try telling Eli, the only kid who talks to me sometimes, that something's wrong with my dog. He laughs, says maybe I should start barking too. Maybe someone will finally notice me. I think he's joking. I think. But when I get home that afternoon, I find something waiting in my backpack. It's Eli's keychain, the one with the rubber dinosaur, the one he never lets go of. I ask him about it the next day. He stares at me blankly. "I lost it," he says. "When?" I ask. "I don't know," he shrugs. "Guess it's gone." That night, Silas talks to me. Not in words, not exactly, but in something. I'm lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, when I hear soft footsteps on the carpet. I don't turn. I know it's him. He climbs onto the bed, slowly, carefully, and then lies beside me. He presses his head against mine. And then, in the absolute stillness of that moment, I get this image in my head. Not a memory, but a feeling shaped like a thought. They don't see you. I do. My body goes cold. It didn't come from me. I push him off the bed. He doesn't resist. He leans quietly, pads to the doorway, looks back once, head tilt, and leaves. Saturday morning, the world breaks open a little more. Mrs. Elkin's dog goes missing. Her voice cracks when she tells my mom. My mom gives the appropriate noise of sympathy, saying things like, "Poor thing," and keep us updated. Silas listens from the hallway. That afternoon, I find muddy paw prints in the garage. They're not his. Too small. Sunday night, I follow him. I wait until everyone's asleep. I leave the patio door cracked, just like I've seen him do. At 1:12 a.m., he slips out. I wait 2 minutes, then follow barefoot. He moves like fog. No collar, no tags, just the click of claws on pavement. I trail him across 2 yards. He doesn't look back. Eventually, he stops. We're at the storm drain at the edge of the neighborhood. He sits beside it. Doesn't go in, just watches it. I stand behind him, shivering. He turns his head slightly, like he knew I was there all along. Then, he does something terrifying. He smiles. Dogs aren't supposed to smile. Monday is different. My dad's in a bad mood. My mom's out of town. The air feels tight. I find Silas in the laundry room. He's watching the dryer spin. I kneel beside him and whisper, "What's in the storm drain?" He doesn't react. But that night, when I go to brush my teeth, I find something strange in the sink. Mrs. Elkin's dog collar. I don't tell anyone. Tuesday, my dad kicks Silas. He thinks I'm not watching, but I see it. Silas got in the way while he was carrying groceries. Dad yells. A boot connects with ribs. Hard. Silas doesn't bark. Doesn't even whimper. He just stands there, head low, watching him, tail dead still. And I swear, his eyes flick to me like, "You saw that. Remember it." That night, I wake up to screaming. I run to the hallway. My dad's voice, loud and panicked, echoing from the bathroom. The mirror is shattered, a dozen tiny cuts on his hands. He says something startled him, a shadow behind him. "It growled. I heard it," he said. But Silas is in the living room when I check, sitting quietly, tail wrapped around his paws, watching. Today, Silas did something new. He brought me something. At first, I thought it was a bone, but no, it was plastic, smooth. It's a flash drive in a Ziploc bag. There's a single file on it, no label, just footage. It shows my mom at her office, typing, then getting up, going to the elevator. The camera angle shifts. It's from across the street, high up, like from a building. Then another video. My dad, talking on the phone, pacing, laughing, saying the words, "Client doesn't need to know," and "buried in Q4. There's 5 clips. All of them feel wrong, like they're not meant for anyone else to see. Like blackmail. Silas sits beside me when I watch them. He doesn't move. He just waits. I asked him why. He didn't speak. Not really. But I got another thought. This one colder, sharper, not meant for comfort. Do you understand now? I think I do, but I don't know what he wants me to do about it. Silas has stopped pretending. He doesn't follow me around like a pet anymore. He walks beside me now. Equal pace, same rhythm. When I open a door, he waits to go through at the same time, like we're one thing, not two. The more I understand, the more he changes. I don't think it's a coincidence. Thursday afternoon, Silas kills a raccoon. I hear it before I see it. A short, brutal noise, like teeth snapping a branch. By the time I get outside, it's already over. Silas stands over it, calm, expressionless. Then he does something that haunts me. He drags it to the backyard patio and places it right in the center, like a gift, or maybe a message. Not for me, but for them. That night, he shows me something else. We're alone in the garage. The lights flicker sometimes, but he doesn't mind. He knows there's a pile of paint cans aside. Beneath them is a hole in the drywall, a space I didn't know existed. Inside, there's a small bundle of things. A worn leather wallet, a cracked photo of a little girl with blonde braids, a set of keys, and something that looks like blood on the envelope beneath it all. I look at him. He looks back. They buried what mattered, the thought says. I don't know if he meant my parents, or someone else, or me. Friday, my mom leaves without saying goodbye. Just a closed bedroom door, a car engine, and silence. Later that night, my dad comes home drunk. He forgets I exist, doesn't see Silas watching from the stairs, doesn't notice when Silas doesn't blink the entire time he rants at the TV. I do something I'd never done before. I take the flash drive Silas gave me, and I put it in my dad's briefcase. I wake up to shouting. It's early, light barely leaking through the curtains. My dad is screaming into his phone. Words like lawsuit and privacy breach, and how the fuck did someone get those files? He looks at me differently now, suspicion in his eyes. Silas doesn't move from the hallway. That night, I hear locks being changed, drawers slamming, papers rustling. I go to the hallway and whisper to Silas, "You did that, didn't you?" And for the first time, he nods. Saturday, he makes the offer. Not with words, not even thoughts this time. Just a box. It's sitting in the middle of my room when I get back from the kitchen. Inside it is my dad's watch, a ring I've never seen before, and the shattered handle of a wine glass, and a small envelope with a name written on it. Avery. Not mine. Not anyone I know. I sit on the floor beside Silas. "What do you want me to do?" I ask. He lays his head on my knee. "Finish it. That night is the end of the story I thought I was in. The power goes out just after midnight. The house is too quiet. I smell rain, but there's none. I find my dad in the kitchen, looking for candles. When he turns and sees me, he actually jumps. Then I hear Silas's claw on the floor. Click, click, click. My dad goes pale. "Don't come any closer," he says. Silas doesn't listen. He doesn't lunge, doesn't snarl. He just moves. One step, then another. And my dad folds. I've never seen someone shrink so fast. "I don't know what you think you know," he says to me, voice trembling. But I don't say anything. I just take the envelope from the box. I place it on the table in front of him. He opens it. I see the change in his eyes. Whatever was inside, it breaks him. He falls into the chair like gravity got heavier. Silas doesn't need to hurt him. He's already done enough. The next morning, my mom doesn't come back. My dad doesn't leave his room. He doesn't even come out when the cops show up 2 houses down. Apparently, Mrs. Elkins died in her sleep. Heart failure, they said. I see the coroner wheel out the body while sipping orange juice. Silas sits behind me, tail still. We watch it all. That night, I finally asked the question I've been afraid to ask. Why me? Silas lifts his head, blinks once. You're the only one who listened. I nod. I believe him. That was a month ago. Things are quiet now. My dad barely speaks. I think he's afraid of me, or of Silas, or of the things buried in the past that are finally surfacing. I don't talk to anyone at school. I just listen and wait, because last night I found something new in my backpack. A collar, small, pink, with a name tag, Avery. I think Silas is ready for our next assignment, and I think I am too. I just heard a knock at the back door. It's 2:03 a.m. Silas is already sitting there, tail wagging. Not fast, just steady. He tilts his head at me, like he's saying, "It's time."